Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman. So today we're going to be touching the topic of color matching again. So we're not actually going to be doing any color matching in this video, but it's more of a philosophical discussion about where I'm at with color matching. So of course you and your current position, where you're at with it, where you're working, there's lots of different variables. You may have a completely different perspective, and that's okay. So I'm just going to have a discussion about where I'm personally at. So I've been in this industry since the year 2000, so that's about 25 years. So I've got a bit of experience. So basically, if you go way back to the start, like we used to do lots more color matching. It was a bigger part of this trade, right? We used to do more edge matching, and I think that the standards used to be a little bit higher. But these days the industry has changed. My main thing now, my main focus, and it's not just a focus at work, it's a general life thing. My thing is efficiency. I like to be as efficient as I can. Even little things like when I'm at home doing the cooking, I'm like cleaning a bench while I'm doing the cooking. But let's not go off on too many tangents. But efficiency is one of my core principles, right? And I do mention that because color matching is a waste of time. And that's just the damn truth, right? So, you're much better off getting a 90-95 color and just blending. So this is actually a really good example here. We've got this car here. This is my next job. I've got one in the booth, and then we've got this one coming up next, right? The guy that wrote the quote, we've got a new guard on it, and we've got a repair on the bumper. And he said, do you need to blend the bonnet? And I just said, give me a blend, right? My color will be pretty damn good, but these days I'm just like, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. I'm just like, give me a blend. If there's an option there for a blend, I will take it. I know this color, 51K, Mazda 51K, we actually do have a good variant for it. I've got to go to, but just, if the option there is for a blend, just give it to me. I'll blend to the moon, right? And again, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. And the other thing is, you get paid for them, right? So you may as well just do it. It's an extra panel that you're getting paid to paint. So most of my experience with current paint systems is from PPG, which I do class as a very good, high-end paint system. Like, it's expensive paint, and the Stando Blue. So that's what I'm going to be doing most of my comparisons between. Stando Blue is very good as well. I would say Stando Blue just pips PPG with the color matching. But so with PPG, what I've found with PPG is that they will generally have a good formula, right? And it's not as easy to find that formula as it is with Stando Blue. So for instance, I've found that, say, PPG, they might have 10 or 15 variants. They will generally have a very good color match, which will be just as good as Stando Blue, but again, it takes a little bit more time to get to that variant. Now, they have improved that with their new Spectro. So if you do not know, a Spectro is Spectro photometer. So it's basically got like multiple cameras in there, 3 or 5, I can't remember, they're always updating them. But basically you'll place that onto the panel that you want to color match, and it will take one photo on the face and either 1 or 2 on each side, the face and the flips and the flops or whatever. And then you'll plug that back up to the computer. It will then scan your database of colors, and it'll find the best color. And what it can sometimes do as well, look, these aren't idiot proof. Spectros are not idiot proof. It needs an experienced user or someone who knows sort of what they're doing to get the most out of them. So it will then scan the system to find the closest match. What I've found actually with the PPG one is often it's not the first one, it'll even be the second one down. So if you're ever like 50-50, I've found 9 times out of 10, it's that second one, bang, mix and paint is the second one. But generally with Stando Blue, it's the first one. So with, like I say, I do it a little bit different PPG to Standox, right? So Standox, if I'm Spectro, so 9 times out of 10 with Standox, you have a color card, mix and paint, mix and paint, mix and paint. You don't do any color matching most of the time. But when you do have to do a bit of a match, you'll get the Spectro it, and then you'll do a spray out. So any metallic I do like to spray out, but generally with solids, there's no sort of wrong flake size in the metallic to mess the color up. So if it's giving me like a 90 plus reading and you're blending, just go for it. And even these days, like, I'll blend solids, I'll blend anything. Again, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. If I've got anything to prove to anybody, it's how many cars I can paint per day. And when you're dicking around, spraying out and perfecting a color just so that you can go butt match it, and I'm running rings around you and I've got 3 cars painted, the one thing I've got to prove is how much money I can make for the boss. Because the way I see it, the more he makes, the more I can make. Because when I walk into the office and I say, give me another $100 a week or whatever it be, he's gonna be like, done, it's yours. So yeah, with the Spectro, solid colors generally mix and paint. But if you do have to Spectro something and it's a metallic, I generally do like to spray it out. So what I'll do there is, I'll just, so with the PPG, I'll just look for the best variant, what I think the best variant is, leave it unchanged, right? So what I was saying before, you can actually have the computer adjust that formula for you if you choose to. Now with Stando Blue and the metallics, I will let it do the shading for me. I'll let it shade it. Generally, you do a spray out, you might need one little drop of black and then you just go in and paint it and you don't have to do a second spray out. But with this system, what I like to do now is build up a bit of a color library. Now, I don't like to save all these custom formulas in the computer, because what can actually happen is your computer, and I've had it happen before, you build up this sort of a custom library, you got them all on your computer dies, your custom library is wasted, right? Now what you could do is print out the actual formula as well, and you could put that on the back of your spray out card, but you know, there's levels to it, effort that you can go to. But yes, my color library, generally what I'm trying to do with that is just have off the machine formulas. That is a go-to. That's what I want. I want a go-to formula. So that car out there, 51K, I know, bang, I've got a go-to formula. I painted a 25D bumper last night. I've got a go-to formula for that. I know that that's either edge to edge for a bumper or blending anywhere else. And again, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. You're either happy with the best formula or you get a blend, right? Now there are places out there that like they demand like some insane level of perfections on their color. So that's why I said at the start, this video may or may not be relevant, and where I'm at in my, life may not be quite relevant to you. But yeah, with PPG, you really do want to build up a bit of a color library. So I do have a decent little color library here. There's my color matching light, the Standox IQ from Spray Guns Direct. This thing's actually done quite well over the years. It's got 3 settings on it with the bright light, and then it's actually got this one too. So this will check for metamerism or metameterism, whatever that silly word is. What that basically is it's something that can happen to like pastel colors where the color changes in different lights. Generally not an issue, it's pretty rare. But yeah, so this is exactly what I was just talking about. 25D, that's that snowflake white pearl that I did yesterday. I just found the car, found the card, walked up to it, bang, I've got 3 coats sprayed out, I've got 2 coats of pearl, that is. I just looked at it, I'm like, yep, that's a 3-coater. Sometimes if you're blending, I'll actually go for the 2 coats because less is more with waterborne paint. The more you put on, you can sometimes get like more dieback and stuff like that. So if I'm blending, I'll just go for the 2. Sometimes if you go on edge to edge, say on a bumper, and the color does need to match, 100% or bit better, you'll go for the 3. Again, I've got this car in the booth. The next one is the Honda ZR-V, NH905M, bang, got a go-to color for it, not mucking around. Now this one here, it's not perfect, but again, I don't think it has to be. We're blending everywhere. And another thing that I think color matches for a bumper only need to be a blendable match. Bumpers are not perfect from factory, and if you want better than a blendable match, give me a blend. That's the way I see it these days. So yeah, like I say, even solid colors, I do have some common solid colors up here in my little color library. It's actually a decent little stack of color cards there. Solid whites, handy to have. We've even got like, pearl white section, reds, custom, even the matte colors there. dark colors and silver colors. But that's basically what I do with PPG, is like a lot of the jobs that we do here is they're like bigger jobs, right? So you might need, say, 1.5 liters. So what I'll do is, rather than mixing up 1.5 liters and finding out that it's a terrible variant and it's a white base and they put too much black in it or something like that, and you can't take colors out of colors, right? So you kind of got to waste it or dump heaps of white in it, and then you're putting all this extra color in and you're wasting more color. What I will do is I'll sort of go through their colors, right? I'll mix up whatever I think is going to be the best formula, but straight formula, straight mix formula, not adjusted. And then if that's no good, 200 mils, bang, put it to the side. You can maybe use it as a ground coat on that same job. And then go to the next formula. See what that one's like? No good, next formula. Generally, like I say, you will find one. They do have a lot of formulas. Like I say, they seem to have more formulas on the PPG variants than the Stando Blue. But all of that aside, my first port of call with both systems is the spray out cards. So they've got a color library over there with the color swatches. I've found with both systems they do replicate. As long as you spray it properly, the colors will replicate. As long as you have it properly covered, the colors will replicate. So that's what I go to first. One slightly annoying thing with the PPG is that they don't make it easy to find those color cards. So with Stando Blue, if you type the color code in, it will have all the lists of the variants, and they will have like a little picture of the color card, so you'll know, oh, they have a color card for that color. Whereas if you know how to do that with this, I don't think that they can. I don't think that they have that that feature on the PPG. But either way, it's not a big deal. Like most of the common colors that we do here, I have a color card for. So like I say, with color matching, less is more. I just think color matching is a massive waste of time. So it's unproductive. You know, like let's just say the two different scenarios. The gunman that spends 1.5 hours perfecting that color, which is making a butt match, right? Let's just say that the gunman who loves proving a point how much of a great gun color matcher he is, matching that the guard to that bonnet on that white pearl, spending 1.5 hours, gets to go home thinking he's so good. Or the gunman that just says, no, give me a blend, we're getting paid for the blend, he mixes the color up, he paints it, and he's on to the next job. Which gunman is the better gunman? Like, I know which one I think is the better one, but I'll let you be the judge of that one. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at with color matching. Just get a good formula off the machine, build up a bit of a color library, and just blend. Make your life easier. Think of future you by having that, building up that sort of a color library. But yeah, so let's get to that story that I was going to tell you guys about before. So one of the other shops that is in the same group of us here, they needed a hand. They had a Lamborghini Aventador, like $700,000 car or more, something like that, like a really expensive car, and they needed me to come up and help. Like they had a color that was a little bit difficult, right? So I went up there and they were edge matching from quarter panel to tailgate. And my philosophy, it's across the board, right? It's a philosophy. And again, I'm not here to muck around. I'm not here to prove a point to anybody. I'm here to do a job. So I looked at that color and I'm like, man, that's good. Like like not the color that was on the car, because something maybe went wrong. Maybe the painter like tried to over match it or something, and he probably should have just gone for the first one. Again, it goes through that philosophy, just get the good one and paint it, because there are lots of variables that can go into spray painting. So yeah, I get up there, I have a look at this color, and I'm like, what do you want, man? Like, just mix it and blend it. And they're like, oh no, but we can't blend it because it's a Lambo and there's a glass in the tailgate and it might cost 10 grand. And I'm like, mate, I don't care. You blend. If you want better than that, you blend. I don't care if it's a Lambo. Oh, but it's gonna cost 10 grand. I don't care. Not my problem, man. You want that car perfect, you blend it. It's the same as the Corolla. Are you going to shed a tear for me because the quarter glass in my Corolla needs to come out? Well, you know what? I'm the one that drives a Corolla. If you can afford a car, you can afford to fix it. If you can afford your $700,000 Aventador, well, I'm sorry, you can afford 10 grand for a blend on your tailgate. You know, I'm not gonna be spending days of my life obsessing over your bloody car because we've got to get this color beyond perfect, which is impossible anyway. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at with color matching. Like, if you ever do have to actually do any color matching, just sort of work with opposites. If there's too many colors in there, what you need to do is wash it out. So if you've got a color with, say, a silver base, right, and it's like too colorful or something like that, wash it out with silver. You can also use some fundamental principles of opposites, right? So if it's generally too yellow, blue is the opposite. So look at your color wheel. We don't even have one here. I sort of know it in the back of my head. I do know how to color match. I'm actually probably above average. I'm not trying to toot my own trumpet and say, oh, I'm the best bloody color matcher, like, because I really don't care to do it. Like, it's just, again, unproductive. It's a good skill to know and have in the back of you know, I've got that. I do have those skills, but it just gets when people want unrealistic expectations of colors, it's just like, man, I have no interest in it, and I'm not doing it. I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing the, oh, let's piss fight around, look at it in different lights, you know. I've played that game, I've been there, I've done that. As I said to my workmate yesterday, I'm like, man, if the color's out, the color's out, right? We either get a better variant. If the color is out, really out, you know, like above, if it's, say, below, say, 90% and it is bad enough to redo, well, then you redo the color, you find a better variant, or you blend it, right? And I'm not piss fighting around having a look in the morning light, the evening light, the afternoon light, the inside the shop. It's either out or it's not, right? And that's the same whenever there's any issue. Like, I'm not the guy to just like stand around talking about it for like 10-15 minutes. Just get the bloody thing in the booth, man. Buzz it down. That'll take the 10 minutes that you've spent piss fighting around talking about it, right? Efficiency is my core principle. Just get the job done, move on to the next thing. One other thing worth remembering, and this is something that I never used to do, like what I used to do is like do a spray out card and then just spray a little bit of Prepsol over it. But it turns out that clear coat definitely does change the colors. It changes some more than others. So specifically with like pastel solid colors, I still remember I did this old Valiant and I matched the color perfect with Prepsol sprayed over it. I then took it into the booth. I obviously put clear coat over it, and then I got it outside. I'm like, what the hell, man? I had that color perfect. So I found my color card. I'm like, look at that, it's perfect, and sprayed Prepsol over it, and then I sprayed a coat of clear over it, and I'm like, oh my God. All these years, I didn't realize. So now I always do spray a coat of clear coat. I put it with clear coat, catalyzed clear with like hardener in it. It might take a little bit longer, but that's another thing. Like each spray out, by the time you do a spray out, you clean your gun out, you do an adjustment, probably 10 or 15 minutes wasted. So if you do 2, 3 or 4 adjustments on a color, you can just burn through that time. When I'd be in the booth, like a blend panel these days, man, it's a 10-minute job. It's a 10-minute job to prep a blender. You know, I would have the blend prepped by the time you've done one adjustment, right? So yeah, that's just where I'm at with colors. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. It may have been a little bit of a different direction than some of you had expected with color matching, but that's just where I'm at. Let me know where you're at with color matching. If you've got like a different experience, if your bosses expect sort of, you know, 95 or, you know, like I say, those unrealistic expectations. But yeah, I think the industry definitely has changed. So the kind of stuff that back in the day we would redo, now it'll just get pushed out. So the way that a lot of bosses these days look at it, and it's not good, it's just the way that it is. Industry standards, I believe, were a little bit higher back in you know, the 2000s, but they did start dropping. The way they see it now is they'll go, look, if there's, you know, a 50-50, which we know is not quite right, but it's not the worst, they'll send it out, and the way they see it, if they send 100 out and 5 come back, they're still ahead. So like I say, there's a bit of a change in the way that people, you know, look, everything does seem to be more about money these days. So it is what it is. You don't try and, like some things, you just don't try and fight against it. Just go with the flow, man. Like, I'm not here to change the world, I'm just here to make it a little bit shinier. What can I say, guys? Anyway, until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.